Well, when my dad used to talk about James Brown, because when he was in the Jackson 5, he used to follow after James Brown. He used to watch James Brown. He told me that he used to watch how he moved his body to like dance. And he said that is one of the main things that inspired him to do the moonwalk. And like for other artists, he used to listen to their beats and how they use their lyrics to almost tell a story. He said music is like telling a story and dance is like telling a story with your body. So he liked to combine those two things and just give it to his fans.
Wow, that's fascinating.
So we've got a sync mark.
So tell me more about what he was like as your dad. What kind of dad was he?
He was really funny. He always told us to keep learning. He always pushed us to excel. He used to teach us words, like new words. I remember one of them was topography. And he used to say like, whoever uses this word more than this other person in a day gets like candy or something like that. So he taught me, me, my brother, and my sister, all these words that normally, not a lot of people use. He tried to strengthen our vocabulary. He opened our eyes, I guess, to culture, because he respected each individual culture, like as religion, as traditions and all that they do. He also had us read a lot, like stories and stuff, because I guess it would strengthen your storytelling and your writing. And we used to watch movies without the sound, because he would show us how we'd watch the movie first with the sound, then he'd turn it all the way off and show us like how the director like cuts between scenes, fades between it, and then he would show us also how a scary movie is not scary without sound. You turn it off and there's nothing scary about it. So he showed us a lot about that. When I told him I wanted to do film directing, he got us a film teacher from, I think, USC. We started working on that, did a lot of good videos. He, supported us in, everything we tried to do.
Wow, sounds like a great dad.
Yeah.
And you traveled a lot with him.
Yeah, he took us most of the places that he could with him for his business.
Tell me about when you left Neverland.
Well, Neverland was, the only home we ever knew, and probably that I ever actually know of since today. It was something like that was my whole world that I was used to, and I don't know why we left it. And people tell me stuff here and there, but I only listen to some of our closest friends that my dad had kept around, and so they explained stuff to me, and they explained stuff to me after a while, but I didn't know what was going on. I just thought we were going on vacation, we were coming back. I just hated the car ride because it was a long car ride. And I had car sickness, when I was little. So I hated car rides. I slept the whole car ride. And I don't know where we were going. I don't really remember where we went after Neverland either. But, I loved traveling with him because going on the planes was something that I was used to, and I loved it with him. It was so much fun. I had a lot of fun with my dad out in Bahrain because he loved the heat, and I loved the heat. But he would wear glasses, and in the sun. But it's so humid out there that your glasses lenses will fog up within a couple seconds of you being out there. So we used to go out a lot at night. It's about 80 degrees out there at night. I remember every night we used to go up on the roof and just watch the sky. And he'd give me a Snickers and a Coke, and it's something we always just used to do every night. And I still look at the sky at night.
What did he teach you about that?
He told me about the universe, how it's ever expanding. He was philosophical, I guess, when it comes to thinking like that. He believed in a higher power, he believed in Jehovah or whatever God that your religion is, but he didn't believe in a lot of the religious stuff, saying that you can't do this, you can't do that, or there's something like that. But he was just, he respected all religions, no matter what your God was, but he thought that there was more out there because the universe is ever expanding, and each one of those stars is about as big or twice as big than our sun. And he says that we can't be the only planet out there. I don't know if he was talking about aliens. He was just talking about how big the actual universe is. And he used to talk about how beautiful the world is and who could have made something that's so beautiful. And that's where he used to talk about God a lot. He used to just marvel at everything. Like a flamingo, the pink flamingo, he loved flamingos.
So what do you think all of that means when he was speaking about ever-expanding universe?
Well, I don't really know what he was talking about at all. I just sometimes thought he was very emotional and kind of crazy about it. But then I kind of start realizing it now because I like to look up at the stars now, and I see it as something that, I just have to do. And on the clear sky, you kind of start thinking about like what else is up there and why are the stars so clear. Especially like from my balcony, I have a nice view of the stars. I can see everything. You see how the moon changes, and it's a very nice place to think. And Dad used to just work on stuff. He used to think about business stuff with me, like out on with the Snickers and some Coke, because he loves Snickers and I love Snickers. So
What did he teach you about business?
he taught me a lot about, I think it's stocks, as where you own a percentage of a company. He taught me a lot about that. He also said to be careful because those stocks can drop, and so where your income from it. I don't know. He just kind of inspired me to take economics class and then excel at whatever business I can take. So he says always watch out for people. So you need to learn what the tricks are in the trade, I guess. So he he just told us to watch out and learn how to do your thing. He says learn your trade and be good at it.
Did he teach you anything about the media, talking to the media?
He just said the media, I know he used to almost be moved to tears about it because the media had made up so much stuff about him, and they still do. And personally, I think they're all wrong and ignorant. But I don't know, he ended up ignoring it most of the time, but sometimes it would just get too much for him because that is his public image. But I guess in the end, he was proven, I guess, everything they said about him wasn't true. And he always told me that the media would twist your words like that. So, you be careful what you say to him. And still, I don't trust people like the paparazzi or any news reporters, anybody like that because of it, And some of the people who were actually talking against him, during I think the 2002 trial, they're like best friends with the family now. So they try to be nice to him. So I just don't see it as a person, why you would do that.
It sounds like you know a lot about what's been going on with your dad. How do you feel when you hear or read things about him that are negative?
Well, I mean, it makes me angry, but my dad always told me, kill him with kindness. So I don't know, how to do that, actually. So I normally just, really try to ignore it because I know that they're actually ignorant, whatever they are. Most people that think like that, they really don't know him as a person, so they can't say anything about it. I don't make judgments about people if I don't know them. If I see them, everybody makes a judgment about someone, what they think they're like, but I really won't voice my judgment until I know for a fact what they're like. And then even after that, I probably will not say anything bad about them, just say what their faults are and how maybe you can improve it. But what they say about him is just wrong.
So if we did get to know what your dad was like, what would we think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the way people think anymore because, me being his son, I'm biologically supposed to stand up for him, and that's what I do. But, I guess if the whole world got to know him, they'd see him in a completely different, new thing. He wasn't, cocky or arrogant. He just thought himself he was a normal human being.
Well, he was the most famous.
Well, he thought himself that he was gifted because, he always thanked it, when we would have, prayers at dinner, he always used to thank Grandpa and Grandma for everything they gave him. They also thank God because God gave him his gift in the first place.